I'm the base manager and welcome back to Space Engineers. Now, today we are going to continue building our hangar bay. The hangar bay is almost ready. Functionally, it is complete. It is missing a little bit of beautification and a few blocks over here in the front. And then we are also going to complete, or at least try to get working on something that is mostly complete, a observation area that has a bunch of batteries underneath it, so it's going to be essentially a battery bank slash observatory. The observatory is the excuse for the building that we are going to put over here on this side. The objective is the batteries. And that is just to offset the weight from the control tower, so we have to try to take some measurements and whatnot, so I would rather start with this area. Now, last episode we built our printing area, our printing chamber with the projector thingy over there. I still need to work out how am I going to walk around this place. After all, it is a little bit dangerous, especially when turned on. But I figured that if we go through here, it should be okay. This is the front of the craft. I would also like to have an observatory area with the medical bay inside of it in the front, just to complete the vessel. So we need a way to walk over there. And I think we are going to do so through one of these two corners. We'll see. We'll see. So, with that in mind, my friends, I better start working, because there is plenty of stuff that needs to be grinded, and some new stuff that needs to be added. Okay, my friends, so over here for our protection against unwanted welding, we are going to go with glass, creating a corridor where we can look into the welding process without being burned by the welders themselves. I placed this, the darker side on the inside, so it can also work as a UV filter. After all, welding creates UV rays, and those are not good for the eyes of our engineer. So that can also be another bonus of the glass cage. Oh, and would you look at that, the welders can actually build the glass on the inside. We are only now waiting on the components to be done, so cool. I turn off the projector so that we don't print another one of those pebbled drones. Okay, so here in the front we are going to run into some limitations, but some changes will have to be made. I think we're going to make the ship just a little bit longer, not a lot, but yeah, we'll have to work around this thruster over here, which means that our path will have to go through here, a tiny corridor, just to take us to the front of the craft, and that is all that we need. This area will serve no other purpose other than the mentioned the observation room plus medical bay room. So yeah, I don't think we need to expand a lot in here. Maybe just a few blocks from here to the front, just to add a couple extra
energy low.
Yeah, that, and a little bit more width to the front of the craft. Well, my friends, after thinking about it for a little bit, I changed my mind. We are not going to have a medical room, at least right in this floor. I'm going to have the braking thrusters right here. In this floor, that is going to align them more or less with the thrusters in the back, which should be okay. However, on top of the thrusters, we are going to have a the room that we spoke about with the medical room or survival kit, whatever I can fit in there, and we are going to end with a quote-unquote swordfish design, where the top of the top of the vessel is the most forward part, and then goes inward, you know, and at an angle all the way to the bottom. Probably I'm not explaining myself too well. Is better if I show you what I mean. Okay, my friends, so we are not going to have a lot of braking thruster, but I'm going to assume one large one of these and two small ones of these should be enough to at least suggest a braking, right? Make the suggestion that we want to stop. But in any case, now, right, we can see what I was talking about. So it would be something like this. Right now I still don't know how we would be making this, but it would be something like this. And then a full block right there. So there is always one that stays behind that, okay? I mean, it almost makes it look like a ship, with all the other blocks afterwards covering that area. I mean, it's going to look like a ship, an hybrid between a ship and a pickup truck, because in the back we are going to have our a big landing area for the Hulk, right? And then this is going to look like the back end of a pickup truck, and then that is going to look like the front end of a ship. So I wonder what the final ship is going to look like. Well, my friends, I already have the floor ready for our observation / medical room. However, there is something a little bit weird over here. I am not going to paint the floor. I just painted the floor to see if this thing would go away. This weird line that we can see over here, right? I don't know if you guys recalled, but we had some issues with detached blocks from the grid. Now, I am 100% sure that this is attached, but because there is like this weird thingy over there, like that weird bar, I'm going to delete these blocks and I'm going to add them again, and hopefully this time we are 100% sure we can see that this block is attaching to that block, because the other block is red, right? So we are 100% sure that these blocks are attached, and that thing went away. So always, it's better to be safe than sorry, and be completely done trying to lift off and then a bunch of blocks just go all over the place. That would be indeed terrible. But in any case, my friends, in any case, I was having some troubles because, well, the medical room is quite large. The medical thingy. Yeah, medical room, that's the correct name. This thing is a 2x2, and this floor is a three wide floor, so if, for example, I could put it technically like this, right, we would be able to still path around it through here, but where would I put my windows to lock this area off? That would be impossible. So I just extended...
Energy low.
Okay, Susan, give me a moment. I just extended this room a little bit, and now, if I can find it, that is. Hello, where are you? I just had you 2 moments ago. Here we go. Now we can make this the centerpiece of this room without any interference on the outwards blocks, where we are going to put a bunch of glass to seal this room off. And of course the logistics will be brought through the floor. I left a gap over here to take care of that. We are going to attach it through here. We are going to grind down one of the blocks once we decided where that is going to go. And then on top of the medical room, because there is still a logistic access, we can put the gas vent for this room. And that way we don't have a lot of pipes showing and being ugly. So now let me just work the windows and this room will be complete, and then we can move on to the battery room. Now, over here I wanted to do something with these sloped windows. However, we need to be careful, okay? Because, how should I put it? If I place the window over here, then we'll be able to achieve an airtight room. However, if I put it like this, even though it looks like we should... Come on, go away. Even though it looks like we should be able to, I would not put my money on it, because if we take a look at that, this block, right, is right there in front of this one, and they...
Energy critical.
Oh, I'm sorry, Susan, I'll take care of that. And those two blocks together will not create an airtight room. I had some troubles in the past where I was not being able to identify where the leak was, and that was the source of the leak. So, well, I have to work something out in there, because I would really like to use those window tiles. Like, I don't want to lose too much time on this, but like, for example, if we do this, it would look like that part is airtight. I am almost 100% sure it is not. Let me try to put this correctly, come on. Yeah, there we go. I am like almost 100% sure this is not airtight unless we place some sort of block over there. So we do something like this. We can't, because we cannot attach to that thing. But I'm pretty sure unless we do something, we attach something over there, we are going to have a leak inside of this room, and that's quite shameful because I'm pretty sure this would look amazing from the inside. But these are the limitations of the game, and these are the limitations that we have to work with. So, although I would really like to have this will have to go away. my friends, ship-wise, we are almost done with the front. I just have this little gap to deal with. The roof is also complete. We already connected the roof with the hangar, with the roof of this thing. Now, shape-wise, I went through some iterations, and this is the best I can make it look. Because in the beginning it looked like something else. It still does, but it doesn't look as much, okay? And this way we can imagine that we are showing the middle finger to the enemies and not the other
Energy
thing.
low.
Susan agrees, clearly. Now the only thing left to do is to weld the windows over here, create an airlock, Medroom, some beautification, I can do it later, and close this part off. So soon this should be done, and we can move on to the battery tower. And here we go, my friends. We have a pressurized Medroom that also serves as a beautiful observatory. Just look at the amazing view that we have all around our ship using this observatory. Just fantastic. Now, unfortunately, that area is not pressurized because the hangar is still incomplete. So, second I open this door, all the gases are going, to go away. So let's toggle the pressurize. There is nowhere for the oxygen to go, that's fine. But yeah, there is not going to be an airlock. Oh, okay. There is not going to be an airlock over here because technically the hangar is supposed to be pressurized, so there is no point in building one right there. But now let me show you the results, and like I said in the previous episode, this really does look like a swordfish. Totally, these are the eyes of the swordfish, and this is the sword, right? This does not look like something else, okay? Totally swordfish. But yeah, now that this is finally done, and it took me a long while to achieve this, but I'm finally happy with the results that we have. Over here obviously is as flat as possible because we are going to have our drones flying through here. So yeah, this area is also heavily armored. There is several layers of armor in here, but that's mostly for the shape and not really functional. Because this thing is a mobile base, not a combat vehicle, so if it was a combat vehicle, I would definitely not put a bunch of glass all over it. But in any case, like I said, the hangar is still not airtight, and one of the reasons is because we don't have the this room over here. Once we build this room, we can close this area off right there, and this area over here, we are just missing this one over here because we have to lift off before we can finish it. Otherwise we risk attaching ourselves to the voxel, and that would not be it would not be good. So now that that is finally complete, most of it, it is time to move on into the battery room. Okay friends, so the battery room slash observatory, which I think I'm going to convert into a drone control center with some buttons to help us control these drones and whatnot. I think I'm going to put it over here. This is going to be its entrance, and well, now let's see what I come up with. It's probably going to take a little while until I find the shape, but I'm pretty sure I can make something happen. Alright, my friends, the observatory room has been set. There is a few things left to weld, however I'm going to try a few new things in this room. On the outside looks like any other room, right? However, the airlock and the gas supply for this room are both going to be a little bit different. I'm also going to use these sliding doors instead of the offset door. I kinda hope that I am capable of creating the tiniest airlock in the world by doing this, right? We are surrounded by glass, we have a grated catwalk, and underneath the grated catwalk, which I believe it's not airtight, we have the air vent, right? And that air vent is going to supply, it's going to pressurize or depressurize this a tiny little thingy, and over there we are going to do the same, catwalk, and underneath the air vent. So now all I have to do is weld all of this to see if it is going to work. Now let's go underneath what we have. It's like I said, we are going to have the batteries over here to offset the weight a little bit. However, these are just a few of the batteries that we are going to have in total. This is not the all the batteries that we are going to have, because we are only going to have 4, I believe. 4 batteries. That is more than enough to offset the weight of that thing. After all, that thing is not terribly heavy. It's just pointing a little bit to the side, and so that should shift the center of mass considerably. But those batteries should be more than enough. Hopefully. I know there is a way to see the center of mass of things, but remember that we are connected to the main grid, so that would not work. We have to go with intuition for this one. Only when we disconnect that will we discover... okay. Will we discover if this is going to work or not? From that point of view, the center of mass point of view, of course. Okay, so... Now, there is one final thing missing in there. I forgot, completely forgot. How could I forget something this important? Okay, try to attach to the floor, please. Thank you. Which is a button panel. There we go. We are going to use not the sci-fi one, but we are going to use the regular one with buttons, because these are going to be the switch lock on-off for the connectors that are currently connected to the pebbles. The reason for that is if we go into our Shift key menu, we can see that we can't control the pebbles, and that's because they are attached to the main grid via the connector. But if we go over here and disconnect them, then we can do this, and they should appear on the list to be controlled. So I'm going to spread a few of these button panels throughout the ship, so that no matter where we are, if we get attacked, we can go into one of these pressurized rooms and just disconnect the pebble and control it from there. Let me tell you one thing, my friends. I think I have discovered my favorite way of putting air vents on bases. Look out just how compact and invisible this setup is. We don't need to have yellow pipes all over the place. This is just fine. And yeah, I'm quite happy with this result. But I still have a lot of things to weld. I just wanted to see if this works, and clearly it does. Alright, my friends, after a long session of welding, I can say that this is ready to go. Our drone control center is ready. I already have linked these switches to the respective pebble connectors, which means that anytime that we need only to press one of these buttons. Okay, that's not what I meant. Okay, let's go once again. And as we can see, the pebble is now controllable. I'm going to reattach it once again. There we go. So yeah, this thing ready, and I really like these hidden vents. They look really neat. Now over here we really don't need a sensor, because this thing is so tiny. It depressurizes really quickly and injects the air straight into that room over there, so no oxygen is wasted. Now, there is more to show you guys, cause I have finally taken some time to establish the catwalks within our vessel. They are still not ready, but let me show you what we have accomplished. So, right now we can go... Oh, okay, maybe not. Let's try this again. We can go all the way up to the control tower, right? And then we can descend through here. We have a path going that way and a path going that way. Let's go through here first. This leads us into our battery room, which I just converted into a, let's call it a control station, right, where we can see the production quotas being met or not. This area is still not covered, but this window is only supposed to be able to see the industrial area, as that part should be covered and we shouldn't be able to see space. This is not going to be pressurized, but given that this area is going to be completely pressurized by, all the way up to the end, it doesn't really matter if we put a gas vent here or not. We are never going to be here anyway, it's just to make it look better. Right, let's try to connect again. From here we can go either into our industrial area over there. Everything was working fine just a moment ago, but now the magnetic boots are not working as well. But in any case, we can now go into our lower hangar over here, towards our pebbles. Right now there is not much to do over here just yet, but soon it will be. And if we if we want to go towards the front, we go through here to the side. Once again, we want
Energy
to have...
low.
Okay, Susan, just a moment. Please connect. Would you please connect? Thank you. Jesus. We can go through that path, all the way over into this side, right? And we can walk all the way into our observatory slash medroom and give Susan the energy that she needs so that she stops complaining. There is still a few things that I have to do in here, like add a couple of buttons to release the pebbles and whatnot, but I can leave that for future me to do. Present me already has done quite a lot. The vessel is, I would say, is 60% complete now. Well, from the hangar forward is 100% complete. I mean, just the thrusters missing, but armor-wise, shape-wise, it is done, the frontal part, and I'm quite happy with the swordfish capital ship that we have going for us. Now, in the future episodes to come, I want to finish the back area. I had some ideas on how to cover the Hulk. At first I was going to do a quote-unquote pickup design, but that was with the previous shape. With the current shape, I am going to change my mind into a non-pressurized hangar. So my idea would be to create some sort of... how should I put it? Like a couple of pillars and a bunch of windows to the side, right? And then instead of using the airtight hangar doors, we are going to use the blast doors. I believe that's what they are called. Yeah, blast doors, right? These are not airtight, but we can attach them to hinges to cover up the Hulk, and we could create a blast door with a shape that would cover the Hulk, but would leave the crane and the turret outside. So, you know, I think that would just, you know, would be the tiny little detail that would make it look that much better, but still I need to think about it a little bit and, you know, start working on it to see what kind of shape I come up with and I end up with. And there is also going to be a future expansion of our industrial area. I think that we have enough space to add more cargo containers, more assemblers, and maybe even more refineries, so that we can process more materials in the future, like platinum and gold, which takes forever to be processed. If we have more refineries, then that would not be so much of an issue. So, other than that, we only have the ion thrusters left to weld, and we can disconnect. So I would say that we are maybe 2-3 episodes away from disconnecting our capital ship and attempting to fly this thing. But for this episode I think this is enough, so With all of this said, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. But in the meantime, this is the Base Manager signing out. Bye bye!